Hey guys, it's Astronaut here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, we'll be going to the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and tackling the question of what happened to the astronaut that got nuked during the mission's second sun. So, this is the mission where right after Captain Price launches a nuclear missile towards the US, there's a scene where you're an astronaut in space and you're watching as the missile approaches. And like, you have no idea what's about to happen, you have no idea what's going on, and this is actually one of the more shocking scenes in MW2 because the nuke detonates in space to be used as an EMP, but the shockwave in space, which technically like makes no sense at all actually, destroys the ISS, and the astronaut seems to get blown away and hit by a piece of debris, and everything goes to white. And we don't really know what happened to the astronaut after that. Obviously the astronaut's presumed dead, and I know the question itself, like, what happened to the astronaut that got nuked? Obviously, like, that implies that, like, well, the astronaut got nuked, so he probably didn't survive that. But let's see what actually happens during that white screen that covers up, like, what happens afterwards. So here, I just removed the white screen, and I stopped the mission from proceeding, like, going back down to the surface. So we see everything that happens after the screen goes white. So here it is. The astronaut got hit by the debris, but he's still going. He's still like flying further out, and the screen's just shaking like crazy, and he's still getting like thrown out and like rotating around in space, which is actually kind of realistic at this point, physics-wise, I think. But yeah, and you can see like the ISS debris is just like getting like more crazy. It's just like spreading out and everything. It's just still floating everywhere, and we're still floating further and further away from the planet until we get to this point where we stop. So clearly it seems like after the screen goes white, the whole sequence still goes on for just a little bit longer. Now, the screen shaking never stops. So to make this like watchable and observable, I'm just going to do that again, but remove the screen shaking this time. But I just wanted to show you that scene so you could see exactly what happens without the white screen and without the mission continuing back on the surface. So this time around, same thing. Gonna like remove the white screen and let it keep going, but I'm gonna remove the screen shaking as well so that we can actually fly around and see exactly what happened to the astronaut, where everything is after the nuke, and just in general, like what's going on behind the scenes. So now we just gotta wait for the nuke to detonate, and at this point everything is still normal. Everything still happens as expected. So here comes the shockwave from the nuke, and now the astronaut's getting blown away. And like I said, I removed the white screen, so right there, that piece of debris that hit us, and that's where it normally would end, but here we go. And I removed the screen shaking as well, so now you can actually see everything, like what's going on, a lot better. But it's actually pretty cool that this whole sequence goes on for like this much longer after you get hit, because it all like would have despawned by now in normal gameplay, in a normal sequence of events, and we'd be back on the ground and running away from like falling debris and stuff. But no, this whole sequence, this whole animation, like all the debris, like it's all just animations that's playing. Those animations actually go on for quite a while, and we do get blown pretty far away from Earth as well. I mean, the astronaut doesn't quite make it to the moon before he stops here, but yeah. And also, if you didn't see my previous video about what the astronaut actually looks like, he's just a pair of floating arms. But here we are. So at this point, everything has stopped. All the debris has stopped. All the animations have stopped. We could see the debris is spread out really far. Like the smaller pieces are all the way up here behind the astronaut, which we never get to see. But you can see a whole trail of like smaller debris up here. And I'm actually speeding the video up now because it does go on for quite a while. So for the sake of time, we are gonna quickly go through this part. But you can see the debris goes really far up in this direction, and it goes really far in the other direction as well. So yeah, it's a huge trail of debris, and that's basically what happens to the astronaut and really the rest of the ISS, is that it just gets blown to like a million pieces of debris and spread out really far from Earth as well. Like we are in, I don't even know like what orbit this would be like realistically, but yeah, that's basically what happens to the astronaut. We don't actually get to see like an actual death scene, but it's safe to say like the astronaut is not coming back to Earth after that. But yeah, now you know like what the few extra seconds or so that that happened to the astronaut after getting hit by the piece of debris in space. So hopefully you guys found this video to be interesting. If you did, make sure to leave a like, leave thoughts in the comments, let me know if there's anything else we check out or look into. But aside from that, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys!